right now the link is being a little bit finicky right now. She says it's going, but I don't see her in the lobby. So yeah, I was recording. Excuse me, but I accidentally clicked stop. I don't know why my dumbass thought it stayed. It would ask me, "Do you want to stop?" But it didn't. So here I am, basically kind of like re-recording the intro. But either way, don't worry, you didn't miss a lot. Well, really miss anything at all. The intro just was 5-6 minutes of me just blabbering, just keeping it alive. Oh no, it says it's going, but odd and weird. Oh, it's not going. She told me to shut the fuck up and hold on. Just kidding, she didn't tell me that. Oh, and also, I'd like to just thank you guys, and I'm just super grateful of all my listeners, of everyone that has listened. One of my goals is to hit 500 listens by the end of 2022. We are at about 322 listens / plays. So we are almost there, guys. Let's see. What'd she say? There. Just having some technical difficulties. Has me guest audience producer. Still says no people in the lobby. It's inside. We're getting things figured out. Don't worry. Oh, yep, I see her. Oh, there it is.
Can you see me?
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yeah, you're pixely, but I can see it. Shut up.
As long as it fucking works.
Okay.
Because it wanted me to use my MacBook's camera, and that one's not the greatest. So I decided to fucking just do my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because last time I don't know. I mean, I don't even think you even knew about me having a podcast. I did one with Adam Moreno.
I saw that, and I heard it actually because I actually heard it on Spotify and everything.
Okay, because on his, I used my MacBook, and going back at it, I could see just how blurry my shit was. I'm like, I mean, granted, you can just listen to the audio, but it looked weird. I was like, I don't know if I really dig it. So just using my phone right now.
I was listening to the audio, and it wasn't bad. It was actually fine. And I think you had posted a video on it, and I actually thought.
I mean, because I've been trying to obviously get a lot of people that I know. Obviously, I tried getting Brandon. I mean, I tried getting Brandon. He canceled last minute, so I got Adam very last minute. He joined. He decided to do it.
Brandon who?
I don't remember how to say his last name, like
Oh,
Blickensdorfer,
Blickensturfer, some BS shit like that. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. He couldn't do it last minute, and so obviously I got Adam.
Time out. Are we starting right now?
Oh yeah, it's going. I already did the
Oh, is it
intro before
really?
you
No
got here.
shit. Oh, what the
I
fuck?
already got the
I
intro
didn't know
before.
it was starting. Oh
I
shit.
already did the intro and everything. I got here. I'll even show you. We got about almost. Oh shit! Hold on. Let's see if we can try to get it. Yeah, we got almost 6 minutes in.
Well, I didn't know that. You could have told me we were starting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, I already did the intro, and so, but
So how's the whole podcast thing coming out then? I was there last night. Actually, I was looking at your YouTube videos. How's that going?
I mean, it's going. It's just one of those things. I've just been busy with life where I'm just trying to be consistent, but sometimes it can be pretty hard. The podcast is one I've been consistent since July. Granted, it's not the greatest podcast, obviously. I mean, I gotta learn it. I gotta learn how to do a lot of this stuff. But some of the whole YouTube thing, but it's just been super busy and kind of how it is. I mean, I've been studying to get my real estate license.
I saw that on one of your actual videos, and I was like, I didn't know you were going for real estate. That's actually pretty cool.
Well, because I went to.
didn't.
Oh, you can go. You can go.
Oh no, I was gonna say I didn't think you were like gonna go into that. I thought that you were probably going to something like more different, but that's actually pretty cool.
Okay, I was when I left to UNL. It was for computer science, but let's just say, not being home and anything. I didn't party. I just didn't go to class, and because it just wasn't interest. It wasn't the first month I did, but then I don't know if it was me not learning computer science, but I was struggling. Just the computer science part, not the math or anything. Just the computer science. I don't know if I just wasn't studying right, but I'm like, yeah, no. If it's moving this too fucking fast, I don't want to do it.
Really?
And so
I to actually kind of catch on to that like quick.
I thought so too, because I
remember you was gonna go into that, so that's why I was like, okay, like,
I thought so too until that happened, and I was like, And so then I wanted to do, because I've been wanting to do something with a business. Like I wanted to start a business but like build it off computer science. And so I wanted to get business management, but they basically said, for your horrible ass GPA, a lot of the classes you can only take right now are these classes. And the stupid thing, you know how Mayhew was always telling us, 2 years of Spanish, blah, 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 most college or whatever. UNL, they need 4 years of Spanish.
No shit.
So when I went in, I had to do, basically, I was going to do 2 years of Spanish. I'm like, this is dumb. Why am I taking Spanish for when I already did 2 years? And they're like, oh, yeah, UNL requires 4, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, this is dumb.
Yeah, I remember her saying that, for any college classes and things like that, you needed 2 years minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't going to ask for more than that. That's why I was like, okay, like, we all take 2 years of Spanish. So I didn't think they were going to ask for more. I didn't know that. Yeah, That's pretty cool.
And they did. And so, I mean, as much as I didn't want to do it, I did it. But again, I just stopped showing the class. And then COVID happened. So I had to come back because they're like, 2 weeks. I was like, cool, 2 weeks. Get to go home. I mean, chill there, maybe work. And then it turned to a month and
it kind of just dragged on from there.
Right. And when I went back home, I'm like, I'm not the type of person to do online. I already didn't go to class in person, granted online, and so I decided to work.
Go online.
Yeah, so I just decided to work. I worked, and then I moved technically moved back to Lincoln,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of didn't know what I wanted to do, but I still wanted to do something with business. I still want to do something with business. Like I wanted just to do
To
something
start
like
off
being
something.
be like some sort of entrepreneur. Like I wanted something like that, but I didn't know what to do. And so
Right.
it kind of just went on. I mean, just working here, not really expecting much. And then
Yeah,
I
and I was
believe
gonna
in
say.
I believe in stuff that happens kind of like it happens for a reason. Because I was on
Oh
YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
I was on YouTube, and again, just minding my business. I never watched not a single video of real estate. I didn't even know. I didn't even. I've never watched it.
Uh-huh.
One video popped up of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
This guy named Graham Stephan, and I just caught on. I'm like, you know what? That sounds interesting, and I have heard of real estate before. And me, one of my biggest goals is to be a millionaire by the age of 30.
Oh
And I'm like,
shit! No.
I was like, and in my head, I'm like, if I want to do that, how do I reach it? Because if I stick to like working my way up the corporate ladder,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna take a very long time to reach it. I won't. I'd probably be
Yeah.
like in my 40s or
Right. To still
50s.
reach the goals. Right.
So I'm like, how do
Yeah.
I reach it by then? I have, um, I mean, now I'm 21, but I'm like, I have
Mm-hmm.
9 years to do it. How can I do it? And that popped up, and I'm like, let me learn real estate, get my license, be a
Right.
realtor to know more of real estate, so then I
Mm-hmm.
can invest in real estate while still being
Right.
a realtor. And then I thought podcasts were boring. Again,
Yeah.
it popped up on YouTube, and so I listened to it, and I caught on, and here I am. And so if I can do that, implement that with real estate, get a
Mm-hmm.
gathering with the podcast, so then I can
Mm-hmm.
have a reach with real estate, kind of just go from there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if I want to reach it, I have to find ways on how to reach it, because if I just work, try to get up the corporate ladder, I won't get there. And so I have to
Right.
find a way to reach
So
it.
so what would you say to like people who are like kind of starting to find an interest in that kind of like real estate type of deal? What would you say, or what advice would you kind of give them to that?
Like to do it or to like.
Yeah, like to do it, what is some like tips and advice that you learned along the ways? You know
Well,
what I'm saying? Like,
honestly,
because real estate, I mean, it takes a process to learn that type of things like that. You
it
know,
real
so
estate can be really really hard. Just kind of the only hard thing. It's a lot. It can be a lot of math. Um, it
oh
can be
yeah,
a
I
lot of
guess so.
math, and
Yeah.
um, real estate is just one of those things where, I mean, it's like anyone. It's competition. How can you make yourself stand out and just kind of be the best one?
Be like the yeah.
And I mean, I don't really know what advice I have. I mean, I'm kind of still learning along the way.
So
But
right.
one I did actually learn
Mm-hmm.
is, as weird as it sounds, I guess reading, kind of get the knowledge while you can, study, learn
Mm-hmm.
anything that you can find. Because um, I read this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it sounds
Uh-huh.
corny as shit. Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Right. Yeah.
You read
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
sounds corny as shit. My rich dad said
Yeah.
this, but my poor dad. It sounds corny as shit. But as you go, you're like, honestly, thinking about it, you're like, holy shit, it's kind of right. Like when you look at the
Right.
poor dad side and the rich dad side, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I see what this book means, and I was like, holy shit, that's kind of what opened me to want to be doing it more, and not just
Right.
real estate,
Right.
but I've been also been wanting to learn financial education, 'cause that's one of the things they do not teach you in high school. How the hell
Really.
how do you use your money? wisely.
That's very true. And I think the only person that I guess ever taught us about like taxes and things like that would have been Foster. I think he probably would have been the only one. You know what I'm saying? He was a history teacher, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
other than that, like, I mean, I took a business class now, or business class with Sinner, and I mean, she taught me about like stocks and things like that, but not once did I ever taught like about the taxes and loans and like certain things like that where you kind of expect to know once you get out of high school. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean I understand that point of view, yeah, for sure.
And that's what I was talking about a lot because that's also the thing. How can I reach my goal to be a millionaire
Mm-hmm.
if I don't know if I'm poor in financial education? Because
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
because on the book it says it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep.
That's
Because
very true.
because at the end of the day, let's say you make, I don't know, $30 an hour, you come home with a nice check, but then by the end
Mm-hmm.
of that week, you're left with
Mm-hmm.
maybe $1,800, but you seem
Yeah,
good because you're making $30 an hour. But
yeah,
then you also
right.
look at your account and you're like, well, I only have $800 for only,
Mm-hmm.
and I get 30 an hour. That's kind of
Yeah.
bad. Like that's
Yeah,
kind of bad.
to be left with so little. I mean, yeah, I mean I understand that point of view as well. So I mean I guess
Mm-hmm.
there's just a lot of different types of things that they don't teach in high school where I feel like they should probably start teaching. I mean, I know teachers don't get paid a lot, but I feel like just the bare minimum to be teaching high school students how to be prepared as they call it to go into the real world. I mean, that is something that I feel like should be a big learning on kids as they would call it.
Yeah, and the problem with teachers nowadays is they think college is the only way, but as time has gone on,
Uh you
no,
know, I ain't gonna lie. In high school, I was like, shit, like, I gotta go to college. Like, I was so peer pressured, like, because you have to go to college, you have to get a degree, you have to have a title to make money. And now that I'm like 21 now, soon to be 22, I'm learning to be like, oh shit, like, that's not the only way to make money. I mean, a degree is nice. To have a degree under your belt, that's cool. But if you're not gonna be doing nothing with it, so like if you're not gonna be nothing with it, so it doesn't do any good to you. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
feel like it's just the job that you're in, your skills that you know. Me personally, I did try out college, but I didn't end up liking it. So I just was like, whatever. I feel like it didn't do any good to me. Me personally, I mean, the people that are going to college, I mean, props to them because it's hard. I mean, on top
Mhm.
of that, working and paying bills and things like that. But I don't necessarily think that you need a college degree to to succeed in life.
Mhm. I mean, that's what I started learning because if you also pay attention, I mean, granted, I mean, I had to be studying a lot, but I'm seeing a lot of young people doing like making all the like obviously like the millions and whatever. I mean, granted, it's like California,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
but
yeah.
still
But
watching, it's like I'm seeing a lot of kids my age, if not still older, doing this, and a lot of them aren't making aren't don't have a
yeah,
degree at all, and also again with the whole financial education thing, and
yes,
but doing a bunch of research. I think they said, I think like less than 40% of students who graduate college use their degree
wow,
for their actual purpose. Because think about it, you can do 4 6 years of college, and let's say you're becoming a teacher. You become a
hmm,
teacher, great. Depending on how scholarships and everything went, maybe you just have a little bit of student debt. Now, some of you can pay off,
right,
whatever. But you start
right,
off and you're only making, I don't know, only like $4,000 a month, thirty five hundred
yeah,
dollars a month, and you're like,
hmm,
some people might be like, "Oh, yay, look at me, I have a college degree under my belt," but then others might look at that and
yeah,
say, $3,500 for the 5 years that you wasted in college.
Went to school. Yeah.
It's like someone. It's like my buddy at Walmart makes the same, and this dude's only been working there for 4 years, and he's a manager there. Like
he only had to have a high school degree.
Yeah, and it's like more and more that I've been seeing a bunch of that stuff. Again, the financial education, watching a lot of videos. I'm like, you know what? I mean, props to my girlfriend. I mean, she's going to college. She's doing it. I it's not that I don't support college. If you need it, again, like medical, for stuff you need it for, I support them. Like, I'm like, do it. If you need it for that, do it. I support you doing it. But on some people who don't know what they want to do with their lives and think college is the only way, it's like because I remember they forced you to do what, dentistry. They basically almost kind of told you pick something.
Yeah, I think I wanted to be like a dental hygienist or some shit, and
something like that.
I didn't. Yes, yeah, and I went to college and like I think I went for like a semester and I was like, all right, like this isn't for me. Like, me personally, I've never really liked school, so I feel like I was like pressured into going to school and making a name for yourself and having that title and whatever. Mm-hmm. So when I went or whatever, I just like, this isn't for me. And I know people now who like make more than that and they don't have a college degree or they just have like a high school degree and they're making like $1,400 a week. So I feel like a college degree doesn't really necessarily mean that you'll be making more money. It's nice to have that title under your belt, but if you're not gonna do nothing with it, so there's no point in having it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like debt and shit, fuck that. That's why I say like people who can go to college and do things and actually use a degree to something like you say, mostly medical. Especially here in Scottsbluff, that's all a lot of people go for is like nursing type of wise. But other than that, you can't go for really like business or criminal justice or shit like that. Because you can't do that here unless you're willing to move out into the city or move somewhere else to where there's actual crime rate, and things like that. So. It just all kind of depends on how you put it to use, I would say.
Yeah, that's why I got out of Scottsbluff because the people that are doing real estate there, being realtors, maybe they know what they're doing. I've lived in minutes there since I've been born. It's like, if I want to make anything, I'm not going to make anything out there. Like
no, you can. You can.
Here in Lincoln, there's 300,000 people. Omaha, Gretna, Elkhorn, like all the neighboring towns. I think it's like some people say it's close to 1 million. I'm thinking maybe like 800,000. I'm like, I could make business here, start the business here, and then branch off to other states if I want to. But I'm like, if I do that at Scottsbluff, Minutair, I'd probably not be doing shit there.
Like, yeah, you can't pull that shit off here. And that's what I'm saying. Like you can't start off here, That's why like I talk to a lot of people who move out of Scottsbluff, like either go to Lincoln, especially to Lincoln or Kearney, or sometimes Colorado, and they're like, well, there's not shit in Scottsbluff. You can't start off in Scottsbluff. Like you have to start off somewhere else to like start to knowing different businesses or you're in your typical career that you choose, I would say. It's a lot.
Because over not just Scottsbluff and the Panhandle, unless you're not going for a medical degree or anything to do in construction, and anything to do with construction or a medical degree, you're kind of lost. You're not going to do good. Like
nothing. Yeah.
And maybe like barbershops and nail salons because I see a lot of those. Yeah. Again, competition. So I'm not saying they're doing bad. Just competition. But if you don't want to do that and you want to make any sort of living, other than again making your own little business, medical degree is the biggest one there. Like. Obviously, we know the people that we graduated with, nursing,
Yeah.
Jackie's doing. I think she's a radiology tech right now, but I think she wants to.
Yeah, but
I think she's
I
going
think
for higher.
for sure, and I think like Jackie, I think that's pretty cool what she's doing. I've always like told you like I've told her like congratulations on what you're doing because that's pretty freaking cool. And I think I see like Sally and Hannah, also going into nursing and things like that. But like you say, if you're not going into a medical field, um, or construction, pretty much you're lost. You don't have any hope or any kind of balance here is what I would call it.
Like,
Zero.
I guess teaching as well, but if you want to be like well off,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
really don't be doing teaching. I mean,
No, I wouldn't probably. If I were to become a teacher, I don't think I would probably teach. I'd probably go probably somewhere else.
I mean, I
So I
can't.
mean, it's all just how you see it.
And because that just the panhandle, it everyone knows everyone. So I mean, you can go there, be gone
Yeah,
for a year, come back, and you'll meet the same people. Um, but it's like
yeah.
that
You're not gonna
town
miss out
needs
on
stuff.
much.
That town needs
Yeah,
uh restaurants and stores that
a
could
lot.
drive stuff because like I was telling my girlfriend, I'm like, you know how nice it would be for Scottsbluff, the Walmart, if they bought the land behind them, put a Sam's Club there, Sam's Club gas, and a Sam's Club. You want to know how much
Oh
business that would
yeah.
pop off? Because
Oh,
people
so
with,
much.
again, not only with people with small businesses that need to get a lot of stuff, like a lot of flour, meat, whatever.
That's
If
it. Yeah, yeah.
if they need to get that, or people that live on the country get by law or whatever,
In
and
bulk, right?
it's like that would help out so fucking much for that area, and the
Yeah.
gas make it cheaper, have competition with Maverick. That would help out
Oh, for sure.
so much.
I feel like
And
now all they're doing like I think like now in front of the Walmart we have now. I mean, I'm hearing it's a car wash. So
mm-hmm,
me personally, I think like a car wash in front of Walmart it kind of isn't good business.
mm-mm,
But I mean, I gotta agree, like you said, we do need a lot more stores. We need a lot more restaurants to call business in, and then eventually Scottsbluff starts to expand. Because I mean, a lot of people now here, like you say, Sam's Club, you buy in bulk. You have to go to Cheyenne, or you have to go to Colorado
mm-hmm,
or out of town to get things like that. Or like for example, party type of wise, if you want to throw a big party or something, you have to go out of town and you have to go out of your way to get certain supplies that I feel like should be already here.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's just kind of depends on the people here as well. If they're not
Yeah,
willing to support, like they say, local businesses, because like you also say as well, because we got a lot of like nail techs and type of things like that. Where it's competition, but they soon to they start to kind of slowly go down with time, and then businesses close. They don't get enough support. They don't get enough business.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, it just kind of all depends on the business. I would say.
Yeah, and like I told my girlfriend, I'm like, what someone needs to do is buy the mall, buy Kmart,
Oh, for sure.
combine them together,
Yeah.
basically redo everything, add a
Oh
food
yeah.
court, add like Chick-fil-A, Panda, add restaurants that aren't available until like Cheyenne, wherever. Put a food
Yeah.
court there because not only, I mean, put restaurants that people never eat, but two, the college is right there. So
Oh, for
you're
sure.
you're going to get all those college students. The high school, Scottsbluff High School, is nearby. You're going to have all the high schoolers come by. The middle
Yeah.
school is also nearby.
Oh yeah.
Reconnect is also nearby.
I
You
mean,
got all these people nearby.
not even that.
Add a food court, local businesses, add
Right.
some in there too, and add stores. Like I told my girlfriend, uh, change Kmart. If people don't want a Best Buy there, make it a Kohl's, another big chain store restaurant.
Yeah, or like a
Because
TJ Maxx, something
yeah,
like that. I feel like is what we need. So, would you say that it's just the people within this town that don't let? businesses expand to that extent, or do you feel like it's just those businesses not wanting to come down to that lower expectation? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's both because, like Sam's Club, it's
Uh huh.
based on population because from Scotts Bluff, and if you
Mm-hmm.
go east, the nearest Sam's Club other than Cheyenne, but in Nebraska, that's close to
Right.
Scotts Bluff or Minnesota or whatever, is in Grand Island.
Yeah.
So that's like
Oh shit. Yeah,
almost $5
that's quite a
apart.
ways.
And because
Yeah.
Grand
Yeah.
Island, I think it has like 60 some thousand or 90,000 compared to,
I thought it was like 90,000 or something like
I
that.
think it might be
But
90,000, but compared to like the Panhandle, you combine Scottsbluff, Terrytown, Gearing, Minnesota,
yeah,
you're probably gonna get 40,000. So possibly,
if most, right.
but again, same with Best Buy. I think the nearest Best Buy from you guys that's not out of state is Grand Island as well, and so
Yeah.
that's kind of where
Yeah.
it's like it would be great, but
I mean, I think a lot of people take it as a travel wise. I mean, who really wants to travel like 5 hours, or
mhm,
something like that to go to Sam's Club? I mean, I personally like I agree with you. People, especially here in Scotts Bluff, where a lot of people live in the country and they like to buy in bulks and kind of save up and stock up for mostly like the winter, or they like to stock up for the week or whatever the case may be. I feel
mhm,
like Sam's Club would be a really good benefit to that and bring a lot more business and bring a lot more people. I mean, I was like telling my girlfriend, um, we were at the mall today and they were doing like a Halloween type of deal. And I told her, like, this is the most people I've seen in the mall in like forever. Other than that,
mhm,
the mall's pretty lonely. The stores are lonely. I'm surprised the stores that are in the mall are still going, are still have business. And I mean, I just don't see why they don't just shut the whole thing down, and
mhm.
start new, start with fresh ideas, like you said, food court, new stores that you don't hear around here. I feel like that's something that we should kind of start thinking about. But a lot of people don't want to waste their tax money on things like that. I mean,
Okay,
shit, they
that's
don't want to.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to waste their tax money on like streets and like fixing the streets and things, just certain like little things like that that would start making the community better. I feel like
Mhm,
they don't want to do that. I feel like they just see like the bigger picture. I think they're building like an aquarium, from what I've heard. Behind like where Webs are. Um, Going onto Broadway and then like on 27th around there, that like furniture store or whatever.
I think I might know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think like they were talking about like building an aquarium, if I remember right, an aquarium like behind there. And I mean, me personally, I'm like, that's cool and all, but we don't need a fucking aquarium. I feel like we need to fix our streets. We need better stores. We need better quality. Because I mean, they're starting to build gas station. We have a freaking gas station. They're building a gas station right in front of fucking KFC, or like
I
north of
saw
it.
that.
So I'm like, why do we need another gas station right there when we have like the watering hole kind of like not even a mile away? So I feel like just having all these little gas stations everywhere doesn't really help either.
I mean, I, and that's what I've been thinking of with the whole mall thing, and then also where the old Albertsons used to be, where like Verizon and Culver's and
Yeah,
whatnot. I'm like,
right.
again, someone needs to buy that off. And here they have like a Super
Yeah,
Saver, they have a High V. Maybe they could add a High V, maybe a Super Saver, because
yeah,
High
for
V would be
sure.
competition to Safeway. So
Oh yeah,
maybe,
yeah,
but I thought you got another store connected with like Yoshi's and Papa Murphy's. You got those little small ones. So then
yeah,
that
for
area
sure.
finally starts getting business, adds
Right.
value to again Scotts Bluff. Like I'm glad I'm out. I mean, I don't miss the town. I don't miss anything of that at all.
Yeah.
But again, if I can add with real estate, if I can add value, if I can get value out of that,
Mhm.
not only am I making a one, if I'm able once I'm able to do it, if I can not only make some bank off of that, but then add value to to people that live there. I mean, it's a win
Right.
win for everyone.
Oh, for
But
sure.
at the same time, I mean, a lot of the people in that town are old too, are older people,
Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
some don't really want to add anything new. Um,
I feel like they're content with what they have. They have
yep.
gas and they have Walmart, and I feel like that's kind of that's like they're content. And I feel like the newer
Hmm.
generation, they don't care. They don't care either because then they have out of town to go to. They have different states to go to get find certain
Hmm.
things. And I feel like for them, it's more like, oh, road trip. Let's go here instead of having all locally. So I feel like it's a blame on the older generation and then as well as the younger generation because the younger generation doesn't really want to vote. They don't really care to vote. They're just like, oh, it doesn't interest me. It's not my
Hmm.
thing. I don't care. I'll worry. Let's worry about what the older generation wants. And then they're
Hmm.
content with how things are going. They're comfortable with the way things are running in town, so they don't want to change anything as well. So I feel like that's kind of a reason why sketch bluff doesn't. Me personally, like sketch bluff doesn't really improve on a lot of things.
Mm-mm. Like even when I go visit, when what I think it was no, maybe 2 weeks ago,
Uh huh.
I visited, and I'm like, everything feels the same. There's nothing new here. It's boring.
Nothing's changed. Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, it's boring here. And I mean, granted, here, I mean, we have 4 WalMarts, we have 2 Sam's Club, we got everything. We got the UNL, we got a lot of stuff here. And then you have Omaha. Now, Omaha
Yeah,
has a bunch of other shit. So it's different when I can wake
yeah.
up. Oh, I want Wendy's. I can go to Wendy's. I want Chipotle. I can go to
Oh my
Chipotle.
god, you don't know
I can
how
just
bad
do
I've been wanting Wendy's here.
like I
Like,
can just wake up and go or DoorDash it. I can get it DoorDash to my fucking apartment and be good. Over
yeah.
there, you can't do shit.
You don't have that shit.
It,
You have McDonald's, you have Burger King, you have VQ and Sonic. I feel like that's like that those are your choices. I feel like so you don't have like a Wendy's, you don't have a Jack in the Box, you don't have things like that. So where you have options, or like you say, you have different types of Walmarts. You have two different Sam's Club. So I feel like we don't have that option. You know, so it's the same routine, same type of thing. And a lot of people get tired of going to Walmart, so they go to Safeway or they go to Co-op, and they get tired of going there and they go. So it's like a back and forth game. So I feel like
mm-hmm,
it's just the same routine. I feel like.
mm-hmm. And because how you said, I mean, people get tired because having 4 different WalMarts here, you might go to one and be like, oh, everything they have, everything I want, they don't have here. So we head to the
Right.
other Walmart and they finally have it. You know, you
Yeah,
that
it's
other Walmart
different.
has it. Same with here. There's 3 Targets. There's the super Target. Then there's the 2 smaller ones. So then,
Oh
if
shit,
you just want to
yeah.
go to your smaller Target, you can. But if you want to get groceries, like it's weird to hear groceries in Target. You can go to the
Target,
big
yeah.
Target. You
You
get
know,
like groceries
I'm
and like
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I went to Omaha for a trip, I went to a fucking super Target. Like, I mean, I've heard of super Targets and shit like that, but I was like, they bullshitting, you know? So I went to a super Target and I was like, they got groceries here? Like, they got fruit and shit? I was like, what the fuck? Like, you don't hear that shit back home. So you get home and then, like, I was just like, oh shit, like, we need a super Target, you know? Because sometimes you go to Walmart and the groceries are like for example, like fruits and vegetables and shit, they're not always the best. The
mm,
packaging
mm-hmm.
sometimes isn't always the best. So I mean, you know, Walmart. Walmart can be a little weird. You got some weird people in there, but
Trust me, I worked there.
yeah,
I worked
yeah,
outside. I know how Walmart is.
yeah. So like, I feel like having a supercharger, I think that'd be pretty freaking cool. I think that'd be bring. I want to say a lot of business, but I'm sure like if they were to bring that, they would bring a lot of business into that.
And just like getting a lot of smaller store. I mean, that'd be a perfect one for like having a TJ Maxx or like a Ross
Oh
because
my god,
every
yes.
Mexican mother in a 30-mile radius
Yeah,
is gonna want that. Because
for
when my mom
sure.
visited here a while back, where did we go first go? Ross, because we have
Yeah,
a Ross,
Ross.
TJ Maxx, and a Marshalls. We have all 3 here, all
Oh my
sister
god, yeah.
companies. So my mom said, "Let's head to Ross instead of going to Cheyenne. We have it here, so it's like, hey, let's head to Ross." And every
And I feel
Mexican
like
mom would be happy. Let's just say that.
no, for sure, because I mean, I go to Cheyenne with my mom, and it's like she wants to go to Ross right away. She didn't care about the mall. She don't care about the mall. She wants to go to Ross. And I'm like, let's go to TJ Maxx. So we went, and she's like, we need this back home. I'm like, I agree. So, I mean, just bringing little stores like that would bring a lot of business. I mean, we know we have like a Goodwill, and it's not the same, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, even when you go to like Denver and whatnot, Loveland, whatever, when you go to their malls and you see, I mean, I don't know if Cheyenne still has them, but like a lot of the shoe stores, like Foot Locker, Champ Sports. I mean, there's
Famous
like
footwear and stuff
Spencer's.
like that.
There's a bunch of like other stores in the mall that again you guys don't have here. We still have a J.C. Penney in this mall. We still have our J.C. Penney, and we have our Dillard's. And we like and I guess speaking about like obviously stores that you guys don't have anymore. Is it true that you guys don't have Taco Bell back home anymore?
Dude, no, we don't. No, I don't know.
I think they said it's been closed.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, they were closed for like the longest time. And I mean, I've heard like rumors left and right saying like they can't get management or that they were remodeling. And then they opened up for like a month maybe, and then they closed back down. So I mean, I don't know if they went like out of business or they don't have management, they don't have work. I mean, I don't know what the case may be, but we don't have a Taco Bell anymore. So I mean, I don't really care. I never ate at Taco Bell, but I mean, we don't. But I mean, it just sucks when stores start to slowly close. I mean, even at the mall. I mean, we had like a Route 21, and they closed.
So it wasn't even there for long either.
No, it wasn't. So it's like, how can they slowly start to close? You know.
Mm-hmm. And what makes it sad is how it was close to the college too. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's. I'm glad I'm out of that town. I mean, I'm not. Even though living in Lincoln, I'm not going to be living here my entire life. I might be heading to Colorado once I'm doing everything that I want to. Move over to Colorado because I mean, Colorado is beautiful. I mean, I'll say.
What part of Colorado do you want to go to?
Well, my girlfriend, she wants more Colorado Springs, but I don't because it's a little bit dirty. I mean, it's higher crime rate. When we went there, it was a little bit dirty, but I want more closer. I guess you could say kind of close to the mountains, but not so close. Like maybe Boulder, kind of like in the western part of Denver-ish, kind of like in that area. But get a nice view of not only the mountains, but then the city. So then,
go in between, kind of.
Not so in the city, but not so far out of the city where I can. I have the scenery. I got the nice scenery of the trees, the mountains, but then I can still see the city. I'm like, I like this area. I like the house I'm in, and so it's like, and especially speaking about houses. I mean, the house that I want, granted, it'll cost a lot of money. I mean, and all the shit that I want.
But I feel like nowadays, what doesn't cost a lot? You know what I'm saying? Like, even shit, gas here was like fucking $7-8. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, I hated that.
It was fucking expensive. I was like, the fuck?
My Nissan Altima usually was like $50-$60 to fill up. It was I think it was like $70 to $80 when it was at its all-time high. I'm like, holy fucking hell.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, even with the fucking truck I had, regular, I was like, okay, $60 at most to fill it up. And then fucking that whole shit, like inflation went up, and I was like, it was like fucking 100 and some to fill up. I was like, nope. I was like, we're gonna go little by little. I'm not filling this bitch all the way up until shit goes down, because it's fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I know I'll ask you a controversial question. Are you happy that Biden's in office, seeing everything that's going on?
Me personally, I would prefer Trump back in office only because of how expensive things have fucking gone. I feel like that's just fucking ridiculous. Like, me personally, like, I'm waiting for like everything to just crash, like the housing and shit like that. I'm waiting for it to crash because I want to look at house, but you can't right now because everything's just so fucking expensive. I personally don't want Biden in the office anymore. I prefer Trump. I mean, no matter like the racial shit he said, you know, he says a lot of stupid shit, but I'll give it to him. He has some pretty good remarks on a little bit, not
Smart.
a lot, but
He knew how to control the economy. He was a smart motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I mean, he wasn't a pretty good fucking president, but businessman was. I mean, that motherfucker, he had his shit straight. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, because I asked you because I remember in high school, everyone blasting like "fuck Donald Trump," all that shit. Especially to Ellis.
Oh
Ellis. Ellis lives what in Thailand or some shit like that with
he like moved out the whole fucking country. Yeah, he got a new wife.
I'm like, what the fuck? Or Hong Kong, some shit like that. But
he moved out the country, and I was like, all right, do your
thing. Fuck
yeah,
and
he'd get so mad. He would get so mad, and I was just like, damn. I was like, I didn't know it was so serious.
That's why I asked you because I'm like, I remember you were one of them too. You were one of the ones that fucking blasted that.
Dude,
and
I would go off on it. I was like, I mean, like being in high school, I didn't understand all this shit now. Like I didn't understand. Like I knew about inflation and how expensive things got, but never like I never thought, I guess, that someday it would happen and I would have to live it. Like I don't know why, I just never thought about it until it actually hit. Gas went up, the grocery shopping went up, like everything just went up, and I was like, damn. I was like, Ellis was right. And like now, like I look back and I was like, oh shit, like I fucked up, like I was wrong, you know. So I mean, Ellis, if you're watching this, my apologies.
I mean, fuck it. I mean, because again, I mean, now that I'm listening to podcasts, I don't know if you know these group, the Nelk Boys. Have you heard of the Nelk Boys?
No, I haven't.
Oh well. On their podcast, they had Trump, and the funny thing is, how YouTube is so democratic. That video got removed by YouTube, but it didn't get removed by Apple or Spotify. So I listened, and when you listen to Trump, you're like, I listened. I'm like, I should have voted for the motherfucker because he was smart. Like before all this was going on, well, as it was starting, when you can hear him speak, you're like, holy shit. This dude knew what was happening. This dude knew what was going to happen because he was that smart.
Yeah, like I mean, I see videos now, like on Facebook. You know, like the videos that pop up on Facebook, or like especially, I mean, the big thing now is like TikTok, where they'll bring things from the past up and things like that. I mean, and I watch these videos, and I, like you say, like you hear him speak, and you're like, oh shit, like he's got a fuck up. Like you can't hate the man. Like you could hate him to a certain extent where it's like, all right, like racial wise, let's take that out of the picture. Let's like take things out of the picture and let's focus on like the bigger picture, which is the economy, which is so-called what he would call make America great again. Where he starts to bring kind of value back into place. I feel like I was just like, oh shit, like he's got a point. Like I mean, I can't hate the man for it. So yeah, I mean, I would get that.
I when I read everything, I'm like, and I heard, oh my god,
yeah.
And again, I saw a graph. It was like a couple months ago of the whole like how much people might vote for Biden this next election. Right. The rate, I don't know if it was like 60 or 70 some percent from when it first happened, and I think it dropped down to like 30-20%. Like no one wants him. Fuck. No one wants him in the office anymore.
Yeah, dude. Nobody. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of got us in a hole. I feel like.
I guess we expected like a more, because really the only reason, like I told my girlfriend, the only reason why I voted for Biden is because I got so annoyed when people just kept throwing Trump this, Trump that, Trump 2020. Like I kept getting so much that it's not that maybe Trump again. Now that I'm noticing, being the smart man that he is, it was just I was getting just annoyed on how much people would just throw it in my face. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't want that
yeah,
now.
yeah. Like
And
you got like I would say like you got your anger the best of you. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Um, like I mean I always like heard like people would always say Trump's gonna make America supposed called good again. And in my head,
mm-hmm,
I was always like, well, America was never good, to begin with. Like we had the whole slavery, we have this whole Black Lives, White Lives Matter, and I mean that's a big controversy within some people. So that's where I was like, well, he's making these racial comments, he's making these, um, he's gonna divide us again. So I was like, no, like I'm not gonna vote for him. Like I'm not gonna do nothing to so I like you said, I mean I was more towards fighting. Like you said, I was tired of hearing the shit over and over
mm-hmm.
and over again. And I mean you drive even and you see fucking bumper stickers or stickers on the fucking vehicles and Trump 2020 or some bullshit. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you see all these type of things and you get tired of it to a certain extent.
And speaking about the whole Black Lives Matter, were you a fan of the Black Lives Matter? Well, I guess let me ask it this way: were you a fan of the movement of Black Lives Matter, or were you a
Mm,
fan of just like I, I, I don't know how to put it like the second way. I mean, I, I
no,
guess let me
like
just start with that one. Did you support the
yeah,
movement of Black Lives Matter?
for sure. I did because
Yeah.
like I said, Trump started off the controversy with first of all, he started off with fucking build a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, okay, that's cool. You want to build a wall within uh, America and Mexico, I mean the United States and Mexico, then build a wall between the United States and Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand. Yeah, illegals come in and out and things like that, but you have to understand as well that we're not only the bad ones. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the whole Black Lives thing. I feel like yeah, it was nice that people voiced their opinions. But the way that we came out at things with rioting and destroying things and things like I feel like we didn't have to go to that extent. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to destroy property. We didn't have to explode fucking buildings and things like that. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that we took that stand because
Mm-hmm.
I guess the government and especially when Trump was in office, they tried to shut that down and they tried to kind of push us aside when I feel like there was no controversy until Trump
Mm-hmm.
started, talking shit. So that's where I feel like there was that kind of loophole.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because I know with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and whatnot, did you ever donate to like the Black Lives Matter? I guess it was the movement.
Hmm.
Um, you did
No, I
donate or no?
never. No,
Oh,
I never did donate. I just see. I was the type to. I mean, I still am the type to. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a part of it because I'm not waving a flag around and
mm-hmm,
writing it on my vehicle and posting it on social media that Black Lives Matter and this and that. I mean, I'm not the type to really kind of put those things out there. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna agree with it, but I'm not gonna be all out about it. Does that make
mm-hmm,
sense?
yeah,
Yeah. So.
understandable. Because I know, again with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, when like the people that started, I guess the movement, I guess you can say,
Right.
where you could donate. They stole all that money that people donated because they bought it. They were all over the news. The people that started it
Hmm.
bought themselves like I think it was like a $3 or $4 million mansion in California
Oh
with that
shit!
money that got donated. And so
I
then I
didn't know
looked
that.
back. Yeah, I looked back and I never donated, and because my question was, if I donate, who does this truly go to? Because
Yeah, yeah.
you're supporting the movement, not a
A,
business, not
not a
like the gay
person.
rights, like oh, like donate
Yeah,
for
for
like for the
sure.
gay rights. Like who am I
Yeah,
support?
no,
What does this money
but
go to?
yeah, no,
Who does this money
no,
go to?
no, and I
And
agree on that because I mean that's the same thing where it's like suspicious, but you don't know. Like you're curious, you're just like like you say, who does the money go to? Is it really helping out the movement? Like the whole gay rights thing, is it going to that especially or not? Like you just don't know. Like I mean, nowadays you can't trust that because
Yep,
people are
because
so like
everything money.
money hungry. Everybody's money hungry. So especially businesses. I mean, they don't give a fuck about what the fuck you think about. They don't give a fuck what your religious thought, what your religious is or whatever. They don't care about your pride and your joy, your happiness. They don't care. They don't give a fuck about that. As long as you bring a certain amount of money into the business, that's all they care about. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's where that controversy also kicks into.
Yeah, because I was just confused. I'm like, who donating the money? Who does it go to? And obviously, turns out people just pocketed it. And the fucked up thing, they can't get charged for it because as it being a donation. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe I don't know if it'd be fraud. I don't know,
I feel like it would be. Me
but
personally,
I
I feel like
never,
that would be.
but I never saw anything else of them getting charged or anything.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
because
no, they
obviously I
didn't.
don't know. Said um,
I personally feel like they should, but how the world works, they probably won't. They'll get away with it just like how everybody else does, and they just move on with
yeah,
their lives. And what can you do about it?
yeah, true. I mean, we can only see it. We can only see what we see on the news. We can only do so much. Like I always tell my girlfriend, we can only do
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, you
And
can only do your part, and that's it.
I mean,
Yeah.
um, have you been in contact with any of the people that we've graduated with ever like even when we graduated until now?
Um, Not in necessarily contact, but I wish I was like on a daily basis. I did go to Haley's wedding.
I
And
never
that
got
was
involved. She blocked. I don't know if she blocked me, but on Facebook, she unfriended me. I don't use
oh
Snapchat
shit.
anymore. I only use it for the podcast, but I don't use Snapchat anymore. But when I
Right.
did, she unfriended me.
Oh
Instagram,
what
she unfollowed me, and I was confused. I'm like, what the hell did I do?
yeah.
And
That's
she went
weird.
ghost. I never got texted from her. Nothing. Like
Right.
just
No, see,
nada. I never got invited to the wedding. Nothing. Like legit. Nothing.
I was I was really thinking you to be there because I still have everybody on everybody that I graduated with. I saw them on social media, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and if the people who have Twitter, that's fine and all. When I did go to Haley's wedding and I was able to catch up like with Hannah and Sally because I haven't seen them in a long time, and I caught up with Haley a little bit. I did. I don't know if I saw Rihanna there. I think I could be wrong. I can't remember.
I think so.
I
I
think
think.
yeah, Ariana was there. I think, and then Taisha. I didn't really talk to her. Caleb was there as well, and then obviously like Sally's boyfriend. So, I mean, and then my girlfriend was there. So, I mean, we all kind of sat at the same table and we was just kind of all talking and things like that. Um, Now I don't really like hang out with any of them really. I mean, at most maybe like Hannah and Sally. That's if like we go to like the same after party or we go to the same party or something like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
think mostly like Sally more than Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, and I'm cool with either or. I mean, it's not like I
Yeah.
have beef with them. But other than that, I don't really. I mean, I was so surprised. Like you reached out to me, and I was like, "What?" I haven't spoke to Marco in years. I was like, "Ain't no way he want to fucking speak to me about his put me on his podcast." That's why I was like, I was shook. I was like, "Okay,
I was like, because I got it with Adam. Because here's the thing. Again, I mean, I don't talk to anyone. Legit, no one back
right,
home. I don't talk to anyone. I mean, obviously, didn't get invited to the wedding. Same
right."
with Lydia's. Didn't get invited to that one.
No,
Um,
I didn't. Hey, I didn't get invited to Lydia's wedding either, so it makes two of us.
I'm just assuming family drama. I'm just say family drama.
We can leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, it happens in every Mexican household. There's
Hey,
always something.
hey, in family, there's always some bullshit. You don't know what's going on, but
Yeah,
it is what
exactly.
it is. So,
Yeah, but I know the first person I tried getting on there was Yesenia. Remember her?
oh yeah, no,
I tried getting her.
yeah,
left me on red.
Oh,
I was like, this
see,
bitch. I got left on red by her.
I went to Gilbert's wedding, and that was the first time I've seen her in like years. So, um, yeah, she was there, and I was talking to Juana, and when I graduated, I lost contact because I used to be really close with like Rochelle and Juana, and so I lost
Mm-hmm.
contact out of all that. So when then they graduated, we just really lost contact. And I was the type to like really message like Juana every day because I got the chance. She was like my best friend. So we slowly started like kind of like not really talking. But I mean, I understand like life gets busy and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert's wedding is when I saw Juana for the longest time, and we caught up. And then yes, she was there. I didn't really like talk to her, but it was like a quick, "Hey, how are you?" And that was it. But I mean, it's different how like once you graduate high school, you don't realize how like grown you start to become, and you start
Mm-hmm.
to become that person that you want to be, but you don't know who to be. So you kind of lose contact with everybody, and the life
It,
just gets
it
busy.
it kicks you in the face. Like, oh, I always see
Oh
a lot
yeah.
everywhere. I see a lot everywhere where it's like, so many people don't realize that you peak in high school because when you leave,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I mean, everyone knows the whole thing happened with Ephraim. Ephraim peaked
Oh
in
my
high school big time.
God. Hello.
Look how like the big football star. I mean, look at the
I ain't
drama that
gonna lie.
happened.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was gonna go to college and be like a good college football player.
I was supporting him. I'm like,
Yeah, that's how I was. I was like, okay, like he's gonna be a good ass college player. Like he's gonna make a name for himself, and the whole shit happened, and it just took like a fucking 360, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay. So you don't see like a lot of things like that, and I was shook. I was like, damn.
because I guess what I heard, it was going kind of good in college over at Shadron until because the problem in that he had, again, not trying to like talk shit, just respectfully, the
Right.
problem he had was for how good he was.
Yeah.
JJ handed him everything. He was already on varsity. Everything was
That's
handed to
true.
him. So when he
That's
had this,
true.
when he and he had when it came to like strength or whatever, because Caleb he had his attributes, he had his skills. Ephraim had
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
skills. Isaac, everyone
Right.
had their own skills.
For sure.
But going to Shadron, where there's not only people from maybe Nebraska, but people
Mm-hmm.
all over the U.S. coming to Shadron. So now he has true competition, and
Exactly.
so
It got
especially
hard.
when the coaches, if he wants to be, um, I don't know, running back, but the coaches say, well, no, we want you the linebacker, and there's arguments that happen.
Right. Right.
Good luck. No, and I guess that's what I heard. They put him in a position he did not want to be in.
And he like threw a
It
fit
didn't
and
go
some
well.
bullshit.
And
Yeah.
then
That's what I heard too. So
he left, and then I think he went to like Peru. No, Peru State. Oh, I don't know. It's some college. I think it's like in Peru, Nebraska. It's a smaller college. He was there for like 2 weeks, and then went back to Scotts Bluff. It was quiet until the whole bomb dropped, and
yeah.
the
See
problem
that.
was. Oh, you can go.
Oh no, I was gonna say like the whole like thing of him, uh, not being a football star when he went to become like a freshman, football player. That's where like that's the way I took it as where he like you said he took a position that he didn't like or some bullshit. I mean, like you said, respectfully as well, not talking shit, nothing like that.
Hmm.
I mean, it's cool that he was able to at least be introduced into that level of college, football and things like that.
Hmm.
But like you say, he was also handled a lot of things when he was in high school. He was praised for a lot of things that he had no competition in high school. I mean, he
Hmm.
had, the basic type of high schoolers, the ones that just joined football just for the fuck of it. And he took it so serious that that's why I guess he got praised for so much
Hmm.
in so little time.
Because I believe everyone in the football on the football team, the one who took it the most serious was Ephraim because he was carrying his
Yeah.
family's name. He was carrying the Lovato
Oh,
name,
for sure.
and
Yeah, for sure.
so obviously. He wants to carry it, and yeah, it dropped,
I mean,
and
I feel like the pressure was on him. The pressure was
and
definitely on him. I mean, he had to have good grades. He had to be the star player, and I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, his skills were good. He did what he had to do on the field. I'll give him that.
mhm.
On or off the field, he was good at being a student. He was always smart. He always did his homework and shit. But I just never thought that he would end up the way he is now.
Yeah,
You know?
because he wasn't a bad kid in high school. That like
No,
looking
he
back
wasn't.
when I saw everything when I saw and heard everything happen, I was
Hmm.
in a way I was kind of shocked. I'm like I I wasn't like super close. I'm like I knew him to the
Yeah.
point where I'm like
You don't see it happening
I
with him.
don't see him like that,
Yeah.
but and in the other side I'm like how creepy him, Ivan, and Isaac were. In a way, I could see it.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah, for sure.
in a way, I saw it,
For sure. There,
and
there's always like that what if type of thing that sits in the back of your head where you're like, what if that would have happened, or they're like that, or just certain little things where I think about that, and like now that the whole, like you said, the whole bomb dropped and things like that. I look back in high school and I'm like, oh shit, like that makes sense and things like that.
and like I look back in high school and it's like people I hung out with, um, the things that I did, the things that I tried to be, doesn't matter when you graduate. People pushed
Hell
it on
no,
us.
hell
People
no.
pushed it on us on how much it'll matter. Getting out of there, you're like, holy shit! None of this shit
None of that
mattered.
shit matters.
None of this shit
No,
mattered because
hell
life.
no.
You grow up, life kicks you in the face, and you're like, holy
And
shit!
you have to grow
Like
the fuck up. You ain't got
you
no
like you
choice.
got to learn the hard way, and again, it's surprising when Evie having two fucking kids, but no, two kids. I don't know if they're the same baby daddy, but I know she's got two kids.
I haven't heard from her in like the longest time.
Yeah,
I didn't know she had two kids. I knew she had one, but I
well,
didn't know she had two.
well, she has one, and she's gonna have another. Um, Haley obviously is married.
This motherfucker, look at
A
his ass.
Obviously Haley got married, and it's weird because it's like holy shit, I'm 21 and people getting married. Like, holy hell!
Oh my
It,
god, I was just talking about that with my girlfriend. I was like, cause dude, Haley, I think Haley just posted today too that she just got a house, and I'm that's good for her. But I'm like, how the hell y'all getting married this early? I feel like this early, like so early to even think about that. I mean, yeah,
like
maybe getting a house or some shit, but like, marriage is like a type of long type of deal. Like that's like committed to shit, and I don't fuck around with the whole like divorce type of thing. So I feel like if marriage is on the line, that's what that is. You know what I'm saying?
because the
So
number
yeah.
one, because what I hear and seen, one of the number one problems that happen in marriage is financially, and especially
Oh yeah.
being this young. Obviously, if they've already gotten a house, I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're making great money,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, for sure.
but when I read the book, The Rich Dad Poor Dad, what was the life the poor dad wanted? Go to college,
Hmm.
do this, get a house, basically
Yeah,
do this, and it's like at 21, like getting a house, paying the mortgage, paying the
yeah.
insurance, probably paying the property taxes, paying a bunch
Property
of
tax as
things.
well.
It's like you're
Yeah,
gonna work to pay that you're gonna work to pay that house off,
for sure.
and
And
and it's like
I feel like personally like nowadays, especially like a lot of like 20 early 20 people year olds and stuff like that, people don't understand that there's different things that come into play. Like you say, there's house taxes, there's property taxes, there's the insurance on top of that. Plus, on top of that, all the other bills that come with it, plus your vehicle's expenses, and then what you have on like what they call it is the fun money. The fun money where you're able to go out, you're able to do this, you're able to do that.
mhm.
I personally feel like at the age of 21, I feel like unless like you have a really good fucking job, and I mean, and the people that are able to do it, that's cool and all. But I don't want to be in a situation where it's like you're struggling, you're like paycheck to paycheck type of deal where you're wondering where the fucking rent money is gonna come from for like the house payment or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. You don't want to have to worry about things like that. I feel like you're gonna get a house where you're stable, you have a stable job, you have stability in that household. That's feel like what I feel like, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And I never knew about the whole house thing. I'm like, it's moving too fast. The whole marriage again, like with the whole Lydia
Yeah,
thing again. Not talking shit or anything. It's just I'm seeing these
yeah.
people. I'm like getting married already. Like, and it's like,
I feel like nowadays it's not a. I mean, I'm not talking shit on Haley and Graham, right? That's his name. Yeah, Graham.
Graham, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not hating on them because like they've been like high school like sweethearts. Like they've
yep,
had their issues, they've had their controversies or whatever. But I'm not talking shit on them because like I know like they're what they have is going good. It's best for them. Like they're happy and that's cool and all. But at the same time, it's like you have to take a step back and kind of reevaluate what's going on. You know,
you got to
because
take
like
a
I
step
feel
back
like
and slow down.
for sure, and I always like ask my girlfriend and things like that because I know I'm like we've been wanting a house, we've been looking into things like that, but I always ask her like, what's the rush? You know, what's the rush into getting
Mm-hmm.
into more debt? What's the rush into paying more freaking bills and things like that? So I feel like everybody nowadays they see like especially like on TikTok now, like everybody wants to see that happy household, everybody wants that happy marriage, everybody wants that happy family. And I mean, yeah, for some people it's doable, but you have to be realistic and look into what you have within yourself and be like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like we don't have that, let's work on this before we move into something bigger. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
everybody sees everybody else getting married and now they want to get married too. Everybody sees that this person had a kid, now they want to have a kid too. And the world doesn't really work like that. It's like take it at your own pace, do what you have to do, handle what you have to do, and then move on with your life and move forward. But
Yeah, I mean,
respectfully, more than anything.
yeah, I mean, 100%. Because again, it's one of those things where it's like take a step back and slow down. Take a step back, reevaluate, and slow down. Because your 20s and 30, from your 20 to 30 in that 10-year mark, that 10 years is basically knowing what you want to do, finding
Yeah,
yourself, finding who
yeah,
you are. Because if
right,
you try to
right.
move on with life this fucking fast, 10 years from now, again, a divorce may happen,
You're gonna
and
get bored. I feel like you're just gonna get bored.
because
I
when you
feel
move on with life
yeah,
so fast, and that's why with me, I started getting a little bit bored with games because again, it's because I'm trying to beat it so fast and I'm
yeah,
not enjoying it, and
right.
that's again what some of those people are doing is they're moving so fast of getting married, having a kid, and already starting just like the basic family household. It's like
For sure, for sure.
it's like slow down, step back. I mean,
It takes a process. It's a process in doing things and doing things right. Especially if you want a happy household, if you want a perfect. I mean, there's no such thing as perfect, right? But if you want the so-called perfect life, the nice home and the nice vehicles, I feel like that everything like that just takes time, and you have to be
mhm,
patient. You can't rush it. What it's meant to be, it's gonna be, and if it's not, then I've always said, I mean, God has a different plan for you. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So I clearly I wanted to go to college. It just didn't happen that way. I didn't find it interesting. I found a different job. I mean now like I'm working for the city, and never did I ever think that I would be working for the city. You know, so that was
mhm,
literally out of the fucking mind. So now here I am, slowly trying to you just get a hold of fucking life because like you said, like now time just moves too fucking fast. You trying to just take a time and just really appreciate what you have in front of you before you just try to speed through things. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. And because again, that's where the financial education comes in. Because like you may think right now you can do it because of your
Oh
stable
my
job,
god,
but
yeah.
you may think now like oh like we had X amount of money saved, this and this, like
Yep,
perfect.
yep.
Like maybe you just had enough for the down payment of the house or
Hell
whatever, or
yeah.
maybe
Hell
just
yeah.
just the down payment for the house, and maybe the first payment of the mortgage. Now the time
Right.
comes of you have that, and it's a thing called uh, lifestyle inflation, meaning you
Mm-hmm.
get paid more, so you spend more, and
Yeah, for sure.
so like maybe let's say she's getting paid 20 an hour and Graham is getting paid like 22 an hour, so they're making some pretty good stable income for the two. And
Right.
again, that's where the lifestyle inflation comes in because you know they may be steady on their mortgage payments. They can always refinance whenever they want, yada yada yada.
Right.
But let's say again, now someone finances to get a car. Now they got another payment on top of that. So now it's like they're let's say they're still doing somewhat fine with the $20 an hour job, but maybe they're thinking of getting a second job just to maintain that lifestyle. Now
Yeah.
now they're just
So
screwing
like
themselves over.
yeah, like me personally, like what I just got. I mean, it's been what, a year and a half, I think, that I just got a truck, and I was like, cool. I was like, I got it. I was like, I'll be able to do it, whatever, blah blah blah. And I started, started making payments on the fucking truck, and I was just like, okay. I was like, now I have to get like a second job now to not necessarily pull through ahead, but it was more like just to have that extra amount of money because with the truck payment and things like that, those things just weren't adding up. So you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
It's just again, it's just that lifestyle inflation. It's when I see it from people, and it's kind of scary. And
Mhm.
that's when and that's reading that book and stepping my toes in the real estate industry, and also like doing the podcast. If I can make passive income, I
Mhm.
mean that's what a lot of it can do.
Yeah.
If I can make passive income to fund what I want to do, oh, what the hell happened? I think her phone turned off, guys. I think her phone shut off. Ain't this fun? Oh, I think her phone turned off. So, how's everyone doing today? Good. I'm gonna get some more water. Um, maybe let's see if she'll answer, and then let's see if I can get her back. Um, if not, then this may be the end, but I'm not hoping so. I'm gonna. Again, it's still recording, so I'm gonna refill my water. I'll be right back. Don't miss me. Anything back from her? I think her phone's still dead. I know it's weird to probably be having me just kind of speak freely right now, but I'll give it a couple more minutes. I'll see if she responds. I'll ask her if she wants to hop on, hop back on. If not, then we can end it there. So it is currently 11:55. I'll give it till 12 a.m., basically exactly at midnight. If she responds or not, or if she does, if she wants to continue, then we can continue. If she doesn't, then it'll be the end. Excuse me. I think I do see her. I do see the green dot going on Facebook. I don't think she's back here. I did for you. Says active now. So I'm assuming she is. Maybe. See. Darn, my investments are down right now. Darn, what bitch. Well, guys, my investments are down a little. Ain't that fun to hear, right? Yeah, totally fun to hear. Anything new? Still shows green light. It doesn't show her there. I'm gonna send her. So she is still on. Probably post edit. I might cut all this long nonsense, you can call it. Nothing, no new message. Yeah, still nothing. So in about a minute. If I don't, I'll maybe try to send someone else another message. I mean, still nothing. It says she's on Facebook. while I'm waiting, I'm just gonna switch over to here. Switch over to my podcast Facebook page. It says I got 6 notifications, but I've already looked at all of that. So go back to my main one. No people in the lobby. Oh, there you go. Yep. And she did decide to end it there. So if you guys enjoyed, if you even made it this far, I mean, I don't know if you truly made it this far. But if you did, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I will post this up on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, everywhere. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. Subscribe, follow on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the other platforms where you can subscribe and follow and all that fun stuff. If you haven't done so, do so. I appreciate it a lot. Like the page on Facebook and Instagram. Other than that, thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. See ya.